Welcome to Mansfield Chamber University, where we believe that in order to grow your business, you have to continually grow yourself. So we're very high on personal development. And today the topic we want to talk about is It's Not About You. This just happens to be our creed around here. I'm going to tell you why. I'm often asked, what's the secret? How can I get business? How can I grow my business? And this right here, it's not about you. This is the secret. Here's the reason why. A lot of people practice on their pitch. You know, that 30-second elevator thing. And they practice. And then when they meet people, they do one of two things. I know some of you have heard this term. It's an old term, but when you meet someone for the first time, you do not want them dumping their briefcase, which means that it's literally dumped out, and you as the person that is on the receiving end is now forced to sort through all the contents and find something that interests you or is relevant or whatever. And most of us don't want to do that. I know I don't want to do that. The other thing we don't want is I don't want someone throwing up on me. And I mean verbally. You know, you've met those people. They suck the air out of the room when they walk in. And when they walk up to you, it's blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you all about me. And what else do you want to know about me? And no one enjoys being around that kind of person. But interestingly enough, here we are, we're told, oh, practice your pitch. Well, I'm going to go against that. And I'm going to say no. We all know we don't like those people, so why do you want to be like those people? And this truly is the secret when you get it down pat and when you truly can execute it. So when I say this, the immediate response is, what? You know, in this world of me, I want it now culture, we're so hyper-focused on ourselves that it's like, what do you mean it's not about me? I thought it was about me, especially in regards when you look at social media. It's interesting to see some of the posts that people put up there. But no, it is not about you. And the sooner you can figure that out and adjust what it is that you're doing, I promise you, you will reap the rewards of that. So here's a saying, no one is special and everyone is special. I met a man who provided an interesting definition for paranoia. And it's when you're sitting in the bleachers at a football game and you're watching the players in a huddle and you're just absolutely convinced that they're talking about you. And that truly is, I don't know if that's paranoia or again, that's that hyper-focused on you. There's another a term for that, and it doesn't come to my mind right now, but this is where our culture is today. So when you talk about public speaking, I think this is a great example. You know, when we're nervous before talking to a group, the anxiety that we feel makes the speech, the pitch, the presentation, all about us. And it's not about us. It's about the content. It's about the message. It's the reason everyone is there to listen. It's for other people to learn something through what it is that you have to say. You're just the vessel. And that's what we've got to remember. And again, I do think it goes back to, you know, when you're nervous, the subject that you feel most comfortable about is you. I mean, you know it backwards and forwards. You know about you. So I think that may be one reason that you let it fall back on yourself. That's just one reason. This is an interesting picture. When we don't get what we want, all right? So when you don't get the job, you don't get the date, the prize, whatever it is, it's because there's some greater force driving your life. there is a divine hand behind every single life event, right? So often with retrospect, we understand why things didn't work out the way that we hoped that they would. A lot of times it goes back to, again, you hyper focus on yourself and you go, well, it was something that I did or didn't do. And if you can learn it's not about you, it's not about what you did or said or didn't say, many things just aren't meant to be. Something bigger and better is waiting for you. It's not about you. And that's part of this lesson. It's like quit putting yourself in the center of the universe, in everything, not just this and not just in sales, but everything in life. When people blow you off, they don't respond to you or they flake out on you, it's not about you, it's about them. If someone doesn't return your phone call when you think they should, people are busy, they're distracted. Sometimes, hey, guess what? They're self-consumed. So take it with a grain of salt. Your greatest critics are actually projecting their own fear and insecurities and envy onto you. When people love to hate, it's about them and their issues. You actually don't even have anything to do with it. So again, it's not about you. But hey, you just want to do your thing. Your gifts, if you can teach, if you can paint, if you can sell, if you can sing, design, screen, write, cook, inspire others, train dogs, whatever, you've been blessed with the talent for doing, and it exists to serve the world, not you or your ego. So put that in perspective to your business. Whatever your business is, whatever it is that you exist to do, it's for others. It's not for you. So stop obsessing over whether you're good or worthy enough. Just show us what you got. When you give your all to what you love to do and surrender to the outcome, you've got it all figured out. I heard a psychologist recently on the radio say that even forms of light unhappiness evolve from too much self-interest. And with too much focus on yourself, we lose the meaning and understanding of what life is for. And that is to use our special gifts and talents to make a positive impact on the lives of other people. So did you hear that? We're here, not for our own purpose, but we're here to make a positive impact on the lives of other people. And if you can remember that you're part of a much larger whole, it's your only job only to figure out what your role is and then to get busy. And not to ask, what do I want, but how can I best contribute? This is something that we talk about at the chamber. It's part of defining what your definite chief aim is. It is the reason why we have our mastermind groups. It's at the core. I believe that if you can conquer, it's not about you, and you know what your purpose in life is, everything else just naturally falls into place. And that, my friend, is the secret. So, as we go through this and we look at it's not about you or what you do, the focus has to be on your clients, your customers, your potential customers and clients. How can you help them be more successful? How can you solve their problems? Everything should be hyper-focused on them. Look at Amazon. Look at what they've done. They're a great example. They're a multi-billion-dollar company in less than 25 years because they marketed themselves as meeting customer needs and solving their problems. The company differentiates itself from competitors on a lot of different levels. Their mantra is, let us help you. It's geared directly to the customer instead of itself. Amazon provides convenience. They save time. I mean, my gosh, you can go on there and find anything you want and have it delivered. I've had things delivered by the end of the day before. That absolutely blows my mind. It's just interesting. No longer, do you have to spend, hours. Like if you're trying to find something, I remember, you'd have to go on these missions and you'd go from store to store to store trying to find whatever it is that you need. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. You go to Amazon and boom, you can find it just like that. They also provide reviews so that customers can see feedback from what other people have said about the product that you're buying, which is great. And then they added that one-click checkout, which makes the whole purchasing process really easy. I mean, it's done. You click one button and boom. There's nothing to fill out. There's no cart. There's nothing. It makes it extremely easy. They've just got tons of options when it comes to delivery, products. They are super focused on what their customers need and want. And because of that, they've become the largest online retailer in the world. So what better example is there, of why you should be so hyper-focused? So customers want to hear about what's relevant to them. In my experience, spending a lot of time talking about how great you are is not going to help you win new business. It just isn't. Nobody cares. When you start talking about you and your company and your features and your benefits and your blah, 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 we don't care. We have zoned out. We're trying to figure out how to get away from you. A better approach is to be very customer-centric. Show customers how you're going to meet their needs. And yes, we want to hear about what's relevant to us. Don't make me sort through your briefcase. That means that you should determine how your product or your service can meet my needs, make my life easier. That's your job, is to figure that out. What is it that I'm looking for and how can you help me? But don't misunderstand me. Sometimes adding your credentials to the marketing mix is important. And if you can remember, the very first objection in sales is the lack of trust. They don't know you, they don't trust you. And the way that you overcome the lack of trust is through your credentials, your experience, your expertise. So I'm not saying that you leave these things out. Just be aware of when you bring them into the mix. We all need to start with solving the customer problem first and then end with our background. You'll have plenty of time to add these things. I always use the example of dating. And if you were on a first date, would you tell this first date everything about you in that first date? No, you want some hope that there's going to be a second, a third, a fourth. You need the time. And to sell in this way, to build relationships, they take time. They're not going to happen overnight. So, I love this little cartoon. And you can see this guy jumped out of the plane. And oh, by the way, there was a change. The red bag has the sandwiches. The green bag is your parachute. So, just a little example of not communicating well to your customer. But I'm going to leave you with a challenge. And the challenge is, the next time you meet someone, I want you to take the first 5 minutes in the conversation talking to the other person without mentioning anything about yourself or your company or anything, and just make it all about them and see what kind of reaction you get. Just try it one time, and I think you'll be amazed at what happens. That's all for now. Until next time, we'll see ya. Grow